My brother Sincere.
Peace, Joe. How you feeling on this Monday?
I'm excited. More excited. We got a special one in the building. A special one. This man is a Grammy Award winner. He was on the only hip hop album to ever win a Pulitzer Prize. He laid the blueprint for DJs to find success with mixtapes. This man is your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. Please give a warm welcome to the legendary Kid Capri.
What up? What up?
Thank you so much, Kid, for the opportunity. We want to take it back, give the viewers a little history, and then bring it up to your accomplishments and what you have going on in 2023. For those who may not know, can you take us back to where you were born and raised?
Oh, Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York, but I was raised in the Bronx, New York. I was raised in the Bronx, when hip hop's conception. So I only been in Brooklyn like 5 years. And when I left from Brooklyn, I went to Manhattan for a couple of years, and then we went to the Bronx, and that's where I was raised from there. It all started from there. I was about 8 years old, and we was on the block on Kingsbridge Terrace, and it's one long block. And that block we did everything on. That's where I learned hip hop at. That's where I first heard hip hop when it first started, and that's where I learned everything. That's where I did everything, and I always go back to that block to keep me grounded.
Right. Being from the Bronx and seeing hip hop at an early age, what are some of your earliest memories of seeing hip hop early on?
Well, when there was no money involved, when there was no ego involved, when there was no corporations involved, when it was just a hobby, it was something that we loved to do because it was new, it was ours, it was something that, it came from one place, it was contained. That's why a lot of the older dudes, they had a problem with it. They had a problem with it going in the world. And I used to have conversations and say, yo, well, you thought it was going to stay in the Bronx? Like, this is hip hop, is what it is. It's going to move. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it ended up happening. And now the world see that it's the biggest thing ever. But to see it when there was none of that, when people was telling us that, this ain't going to last, what is this noise y'all doing? When we were hearing that, you would get discouraged and say, all right, this ain't gonna last. But what happens is when you push young people into a wall when they have no other way out, they're gonna end up having a voice, and that voice is gonna create something, and that creation ended up being hip hop. You gave kids a voice to say what they needed to say on their mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it ended up being. It became so infectious that it became worldly, and it was created all where I come from, the Bronx.
Right. When did you know you wanted to be a DJ? What age were you?
I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old watching the dude playing dice. I always tell the story. I was watching a dude named Joe playing dice, shooting against the wall, saying, yes, y'all. To the beat, y'all, throwing the dice. Yes, y'all. I'm looking at him like, yo, what do you mean, yes? What are you saying? And then that Friday, I went to a party in Marble Hill Projects in the community center where you pay $1 to go in, and you see Rockwell Incorporated, the group at the time, DJ B Ward and Kev Rockwell, and all these MCs. And I watched B Ward playing. It's the first time I seen this, a DJ playing and I just watched them. And I stayed there all night watching them. And I ran home and told moms I wanted to be a DJ. She was like, "What's that?" We didn't have a whole lot of bread at the time, so she bought me a mixer that had no headphone hole. I had to guess all the spots on the records, and that's how I got better than everybody in the neighborhood because I had no way of listening to it. So I got so good with it that I didn't need the headphones. And I ended up staying with it, and everybody else left. Everybody else disappeared. But the people that grew up with us, we was all doing parties in each other's houses and stuff like that. It was no, venues or nothing like that for us to play. It was just new. So we was doing things in each other's houses. And there was a girl named Olga Carter that used to be in school with me, going to class with me. She said, Kid Capri sounds like a good name for a DJ. You should try it. I ended up trying the name. And not long after, she was killed by a stray bullet by accident. So I ended up keeping the name. And the name took me to the top.
Very dope. Could you talk a little bit about some of the earlier DJs that came before you and who influenced you earlier on to become a DJ at the age of 8?
Well, there was Grandmaster Flash, Charlie Chase, B Ward. There was Breakout, Baron. It was so many of the dudes, man. Grand Wizard Theodore. It was so many dudes that, because you gotta keep in mind, these dudes like superheroes was, and that's why they like superheroes to me today, because they didn't make the money that I made or got the accolades I got later on, and you know, or a lot of people, other people have gotten later on, and they didn't get the recognition that they're supposed to. Now they are, and even more, it could be a lot more could be done, but they're the real heroes because they didn't make that money and get that recognition like they're supposed to. So, you know, they were really my heroes, you know, and to see it all form and to see these dudes, you know, to look at these dudes, they were like, it was like I said, a superhero. To see Grandmaster Caz on the mic, that was like incredible to see that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, every time you went and got the tape, you wanted to hear every little noise in the tape and everything that the crowd did, and that's what it was about. It was, you know, and this was no money. This was like, you know what I mean? No records was out. No hip hop records was out at the time. This was, you went on the tapes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all those things. This is why I appreciate the position I'm in today, because I took all those things and those things helped me to be who I am. And you know, if had I came in 2 years ago, I wouldn't be who I am now. I wouldn't be branded. I wouldn't know the knowledge of things that I know to make me be who I am. Like all those different things, it all counts. And that's why the younger generation always supposed to, you know, want that knowledge of knowing from before them, and what happened and why did it happen, and why are they in the position that they're in now, because of what came before. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of dudes that's come from that era, you know, some are maybe able to maintain and stay relevant, and some aren't. But that doesn't mean they should be laughed out. That doesn't mean that they should be forgotten about. They should always be upheld.
No doubt.
Right.
Kid, from the rooftop in Harlem to Skate Key in the Bronx, Studio 54 in Manhattan, were there any challenges adapting to different crowds?
Never. I do 200. Well, up to the pandemic, I was doing 200 to 250 shows a year. Even right now, I'm doing shows constantly. I just did Milwaukee yesterday. And everywhere I go, I sell out. Everywhere I go, it's like I live there. Because I've been doing this way before it got popular. I'm the one that made the DJ. I brought the music to the DJ. I brought the business to the DJ. I showed the DJ how to be an entertainer and an artist instead of just being somebody behind somebody. And with that came a certain kind of performance, a certain kind of talent, and knowing that it's not about me. It's about everybody that's there. And how can I make myself feel like them watching me? What would make them want to come see me again? What would make a promoter want to hire me again? What would make anybody even bother with a Kid Capri anymore? I had to be that good in order to get that and maintain it. It's one thing to get it, but it's another thing to maintain it. And that's the hard part, to maintain it, because people's attention spans are short. If you don't stay in their face and do the right thing, they're on to the next person. And there's a million people trying to do what we do every day. You see, I created a certain landscape in the DJ business, and everybody follow my landscape. They swag out like me, they talk on the mic like the way I do, and a lot of different things happen in the DJ business that I was able to inspire. So, and I'm proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Because we were looked at as dudes that played records. They just played records. You know what I'm saying? Now with me, you see, I'm a triple threat. I produce, I rhyme my album, records, all that. But I got big as Kid Capri the DJ. So me putting this new album out was kind of a challenge, because I had to let people know that I do this too. I'm doing this too. Even though my first album I rhymed on, and my second album I produced everybody from Jay-Z to Busta and Nas. But this album, The Love, I didn't get no mainstream artists on it. I produced everything, wrote everything. But me being Kid Capri the DJ, I had to bring that attention to it, because I've been Kid Capri the DJ in a high level for so long. So when you do other things, sometimes people don't want to see the other thing. They want to see what they know you for, until you can prove yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's all the same thing that going back in the days, staying relevant, maintaining and taking what you learn and be able to create opportunities for other people. And that's what I was able to do.
So how did Kid and Play a role in your career early on?
Well, they threw me on the first Public Enemy had a tour called The Greatest Rap Show on Earth. The Greatest Show on Earth. And it had 13 groups on it. And Kid and Play asked me if I go on tour with them. to help them do their set. So this is around the time I got hot with the mixtape. This is how I even got to all that. I got hot with the mixtapes in the street. Before I got hot with the mixtapes in the street, I used to go to BLS, the WBLS, try to get a job. My sister used to work for Von Harper at BLS. And I used to go to BLS trying to get a job. They didn't want to give me a job. So I said, you know what? I can't get a job. Somebody got to hit me some kind of way. So I'm going to sit in the street corner and sell these tapes. And I sat down the street corner in Rucker in front of Willie's and all that. And I sold these tapes. And them shits just went ridiculous and became a new thing. And that led me into my first radio deal, my first album deal, my first tour, which was the Cold Chiller tour, but then it was the Public Enemy tour, which was the venue tour. And it's the first time I did a venue tour. So that's when Kid Play asked me to come and do that. And on that tour was everybody that was hot at the time. So we did that. And then after that, everything else was going, because also I was on Def Comedy Jam as well. I was on Def Comedy Jam tour. So that came and we did that for so many years. My own shows I was doing, other tours I jumped up in on 25, 26 tours. So jumping on different ones and, you know, buying the tour bus, being the first dude in hip hop to buy a tour bus, two of them, you know what I'm saying? Before, you know, when people were saying, yo, you just rent tour buses, how you buying one? I bought them because of me being on the road so much. I got tired of flying 15 crates of records around the country and paying all that money and all that weight and all that. So I just bought me buses and I just went and did my thing. But it all came from me deciding to sit on that street corner, not caring about chicks driving by laughing at me because they thought I was, you know, doing bad from selling mixtapes. I didn't care about none of that. None of that pride shit meant nothing to me. All that meant to me was the focus I had. And to this day, the focus is the same thing. You know, when I said I was doing this album, you ain't doing no album. Yeah, I'm doing it. Watch how it come out. And then when it came out, I was like, oh shit. So, you know, no, you can't let nobody tell you get in the way of what you're trying to do. You do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And me not having no pride, and you, of course, I'm gonna be prideful, but not having no pride to the point where I got to worry about how other people think. Because if I had to worry about how other people think, I probably wouldn't have made the moves I made. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you have to worry about how people think once you get there, because you want people to understand what you're doing in your business. But when you're trying to get there, you got to do what your mind tells you, what your stomach tells you to do. And I follow that, and I always do, and that always lead me in the right way. So,
word.
Very dope.
You talk about having these dreams and aspirations at the age of 8. I know at this point your record collection's got to be crazy. Do you remember the first album you bought or the most you spent on a record?
First record I bought was called Paradise, La Shangri-La. It was a breakbeat. Very first record I bought. But I was always collecting records from my dad. You know, I always had stuff, going to people's houses, taking it. But the very first record I ever bought was La Shangri-La. Paradise was very nice breakbeat. And it went from there. And I only bought one. My man up the block had the other one. When I had the little mixer, he had 2 turntables that his father bought him, 2 little plastic turntables, a Marantz amp, and some speakers. And he would buy one record, and I buy the other one. We had 2, and that's how we did it. And that was a hustle then. It wasn't even a hustle. We wasn't making no money. It's what kept us out of trouble, kept us out of the street. You know what I'm saying? Kept us in the house. I used to come home from school, and usually I would do homework. When I wouldn't even do no homework until I finished coming home practicing first. I practiced, then do the homework. So it was in us so much like that. It kept us out of trouble. It kept us out of anything that was going to get us in any bullshit out there. So that's one thing I'm very grateful for. You know, because it was very easy. I watched a lot of people do a lot of things, man. And if they would have did what I was doing, it would save their life. You know, and some of them were doing what I was doing, and they decided to go a different way, and that didn't work out too great for them. So, you know, everything's choices. Everything's choice. Just like when I was in Harlem, some of the mixtapes, I had the chance to. I was around the biggest drug dealers in the world. The Paid in Full movie was about the dudes I was around and seeing and dudes like that. I could have made a choice saying, you know, well, I'm gonna take this kilo that they giving me because I'm cool. They don't even want no money back. Just because I'm cool, they want to give me a kilo. Yo, kid, go do your thing. Now I'm gonna sell these $20 tapes while y'all sell $20 cracks. Everything is a choice. You know what I'm saying? And that's the choice I made, and it worked out. And I got peace of mind. I ain't got to look over my shoulder for nothing. I ain't got to worry about nobody taking anything from nobody or nobody owing me nothing or nobody violating. None of that. Peace of mind.
Yes. What about the most you spent on a record?
Shit. I got let me see. I can show you.
Oh, he
Yes. I think maybe 150, 200, depending on what it is. But something that nobody can get. It's like very, very rare. Because even now, I buy a lot of 45s and a lot of rare shit that nobody can get. Or well, limited people might have. And but it's hard to get, and a lot of them be expensive. But I get a lot of things. I find a lot of things. Been so used to doing it, I find a way to get it. But these things are those things are like stamps. Like people collect stamps, people collect cars, people collect pictures, collect records, and a lot of these records are worth $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $5,000. A lot of these records that I have, especially things that are sealed up, and there's people in the world that have a lot of money that want to buy them. You know what I'm saying? They'll pay top dollar for them. You know, I don't have to sell them. I'm doing good. I'm good. But if I decided that I want to get rid of some shit, I could go and probably pay my mortgage on them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how the world is. A lot of people, especially with the internet right now, it's very easy access to get to people. You know what I'm saying? People that have things and they don't really know what to do with their bread. They just want to spend it and have everything. They want to own everything. When the NFTs came out, nobody even knew what the hell the NFTs was, but because it was something, people just ran to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. When something gets hot, nobody know what hookah is, and all of a sudden everybody's smoking fucking hookah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when something gets hot, people want to be a part of it. You know, and there's people, like I said, got a lot of bread that want shit, and there's a lot of value to them, to these things, and you know, they'll get it.
Right. You spoke about the mixtape earlier on. For Kid Capri's point of view, where did the origin of the mixtape begin?
You have dudes like Hollywood, Lovebug Starsky, Chief Rocker, Star Child, Brucey B, that was doing the mixtapes before I was doing them. And before them, there was the Tape Masters, Tape Master, which was putting out the Cold Crush tapes and the Fantastic Five tapes, Jazzy Five, and all the hip hop tapes at the time. When it became mixtape style, these dudes was like on the forefront of doing that. You know what I'm saying? They were doing it in the city. When I came about, I came with Star. Star was already doing it. When I came in with Star, me and him became a partner and started selling the tapes together. And then when I left, and I was doing my shows and doing all my, because I was already doing what I was doing before the mixtape shit. I already had my thing I was doing, but the mixtape is what got me to get known. But when I was doing, when I left Star and started playing the Studio 54 and all these other different places, it was one day I just said, you know what, I need to sell these tapes. I'm going to just buy 100 tapes and just copy them, sit on the corner and sell them. And that's what I did. And when that day I decided to do that, it was the best decision of my life because it brought me one of the biggest television shows that ever hit the network, Def Comedy Jam. It got me an album deal when I didn't even want an album deal. I wasn't even thinking about an album. You know what I'm saying? It brought me the radio deal, the radio show that I wanted. Even though the radio show was a half hour, I brought them from a 12.8 to a 1.3 in ratings in a matter of a few months, you know, with a half hour show, which made it better anyway. I was the less you heard me, the more you wanted. So that's why I like the half hour show. So, right. You know, so it brought me all these different things, but all I really wanted to do was just make some money and get known. I wasn't thinking about how big it was going to be. I knew I was going to be big at something, but I didn't know that I would be doing the Garden 5-6 times, the Gardens of the World 5-6 times, and, you know, playing for just different people like Martha Stewart and, you know, doing records with Madonna. And I never thought none of this shit. Like, I wasn't thinking of that far. I was thinking that, you know, this is something I love doing. But as I grew into it and got older and started having things happen, I started realizing that this is something special. This is a business, and this is something that people rely on me to do to make them feel better than they did before they see me. So every time they come and they see me, I'm gonna be better than that I was the last time, and it's gonna make them want to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. So they say they never had a feeling like this ever, And that's what I reached. I really think I did, to the point where DJs all over the world watched what I did and wanted to become that, and wanted that feeling and wanted that type of recognition. And it showed them how to be a real party entertainer instead of being somebody standing behind somebody or being looked at as less than. Even though we came as far as we did, we still looked as less than to this day. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you see somebody say something crazy to a DJ on the net, or you see somebody see DJs on the front cover of magazines, or in the front rows of the award shows, or not being revered on award shows the way they're supposed to. Yeah, we're not looked at the same way as an artist is, and it should be. You know what I'm saying? But that's where I came in, because I wasn't accepting anything less. You're gonna look at me like that because I'm gonna be better than that artist that's on that stage. I'm gonna play his record better than he performed.
No doubt.
And that's the attitude you gotta have. You're the best in the world. Nobody can touch you. You just gotta have the talent to back it up.
Right.
The epitome of manifest destiny. Kid, you were on and involved with the only hip hop album to ever win a Pulitzer Prize. Explain the process. How did you connect with Kendrick? Obviously, he's a West Coast rapper. He could have got somebody on the West Coast. Talk about that.
I said that to Kendrick. When we was in the studio, I told Kendrick, I said, yo, you got Battle Cat, DJ Pooh over in the West Coast. These dudes, man, like, they're legends. Like, yeah, my brothers love them to death. They're legends. But I needed my album to be authentic. I know what you did for the hip hop industry, for music, period, for DJs, period. I know everything. So that impressed me the most, that he knew the story, that I didn't have to sit there and tell him, yo, I did this, I did that, this is how this happened, this is how this happened. He already knew. You know what I'm saying? And to bypass everybody that he bypassed, not on disrespect, but just to know the knowledge of what it was that he was getting into and what he wanted on his album, that was impressive to me. You know what I'm saying? And when he said that to me, I was like, wow, he really gets it. And this is a young dude. Like I said, he could have went and got one of the younger guys, or he could have went and got Pooh, or what there was, but he really knew what it was and the foundation that I laid down and everything I put down. And a lot of times people are not going to tell you that. That's why I'm so articulated when I speak and I say things and I do my interviews, because I want you to understand what it really is. I'm not just saying things just to say it. I want you to really understand. And a lot of times people are not going to tell your story better than you are, just like nobody's going to clean your house better than you are. You know what I'm saying? So you have to tell your story in a way where people get it and understand it in a way where it doesn't sound like it's bragging, but it also, they get the point. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to do. So with Kendrick, he understood what I did. And then I wish we could have did a lot more with each other after the album came out, like different concerts and stuff like that. He didn't need me, but if we would have did it, it would have been special, like, but we didn't get a chance to do that. But just me being on the album, the only Pulitzer Award hip hop album ever, what more can a man ask for? That was dope. You know what I'm saying? So we move on and keep going. And this is 5 years ago. 2007 the album came out. And it still resonates today. So it's dope. And he put me in countries. He put my voice in countries of places I never even been to. And I've been a lot of places. My voice was heard in countries I never been to or heard of. So I'm grateful for that.
Very dope. You talked a little bit about how the mixtape allowed you so many other opportunities. You landed your deal with Cold Chillin', and you got to work with the late, great Biz Markie. What are some of your best memories of putting that project together?
The first album?
Yes, sir.
The tape. Well, like I said, I wasn't looking for no album deal. I remember Biz had rolled up on me on 54th Street. I was just finished doing Studio 54. I was on the corner waiting for my car to come. And he rolled up on me in the MPV. Yo, kid, get this album deal. I said, shut up, Biz. Shut up. So he got me in Bert Fiddel's office. And I got all this money in this account. And we signed the deal. We did our thing. Went on tour. And when I was making the album, I did all the beats. I did most of the beats. Cool V did some of the beats. and I was writing, or I'm saying some of the rhymes that was on my mixtapes, and I started writing some of the rhymes in the studio, and that's how the album came about. But again, like, well, let me say this: Biz could have gave that album to anybody else that was a rapper at the time. I wasn't a rapper at the time. I mean, I know how to rhyme, but that wasn't what I was really doing. Like, he could have gave that to anybody else that was really, really doing it. He gave that to me because of how hot I got in the street, but also how I carried myself. You know, I wasn't a liability. You know, I wasn't somebody that was going to not make the shows or do what I was supposed to do, you know, because I was already doing it. I was already grooming myself on how to be, you know what I'm saying? And he's seen that. So that was part of it too. But he gave me that deal when I didn't even really want it. And then when I ended up getting it, I had to perform these records on stage on tour. I wasn't trying to be a rapper on stage. Like, I'm not really trying to be a rapper on stage today. Even though I got a rap album, I rhymed on the whole album. That wasn't what my focus was. My focus was to put the music in the world. You know what I'm saying? And when I do my shows, I'll rhyme some of the records, but behind the turntables. Like, and then when I do go in front of the turntables, I got the mic. The people go crazy, but I feel uncomfortable. I don't feel like it's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. I guess if I get a little drink and be out on stage, whatever, you know, maybe, I don't know. But I'm not even a drinker, so I got to drink in order to feel good to do that now. But what I am saying is that I did do it back then, and the tour went crazy. I mean, I have people right now that hit me on my IGs and my, you know, my stuff and my social media saying, yo, I remember I was at that show you did in San Antonio, or, you know, Killeen, Texas, where you was rhyming with the Cold Chillin' tour. That shit was dope. I have people reminding me of that. So it definitely did something. It just wasn't my thing. And like I said, I got big as Kid Capri, the DJ. I was trying to set a mark with the DJ business that was never set before. You know what I'm saying? So I was more into that. And even with the producing, even though I won the Grammy Award and producing different people, I still was on my DJ shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm on everything heavy.
Right. Can you talk a little bit about the selection process for Def Comedy Jam, how that came about?
Yeah, Russell was at one of my parties. Asked me what I thought about DJing for a comedy show. So, I mean, I guess him and Bob Summer was already talking about it. When he asked me, I ain't really understand what he meant. Like, comedy show DJ, like, but I was like, let me just go ahead and do it. Like, what am I questioning it for? It's Russell, it's HBO, you know, never been done before. Just go ahead and do the shit. But even when I said that to myself and did the agreement, I still didn't think about how big it was going to be. I wasn't thinking that way. I'm thinking it's a comedy show. I wasn't even really thinking about television, to tell you the truth. I'm thinking about it's a comedy show. You know, we got music with the comedy show. That's how I was looking at it. That shit hit the airways. My whole life changed. My whole life went like this. Just like that. It was total chaos. Total chaos. Like, everywhere I went, I'm getting chased by women in the venues. I can't go nowhere. It was just crazy, man. It was just crazy. It opened a lot of different things for me, you know, that I wasn't expecting. And, you know, to be with dudes like Bernie Mac and Bill Bellamy and, you know, Jamie Foxx, all these different dudes that you see today, Steve Harvey, all these dudes, they all came from Def Comedy Jam. These are dudes I was on tour buses with, lived with 3-4 years on the road, you know, telling each other secrets and stories. I got stories and stuff Bernie told me and video footage of me and Bernie. One day I'm gonna put it out, but the footage, not the stuff we talked about. But there's so many different things that.
Okay, looks like Kid might be froze. Hopefully he'll rejoin us. Looks like had to have came about because of that Def Comedy Jam. Interested to see where his career took off after being on such a large platform. Was he living in the moment? You know what I mean? And was he in the moment of knowing these stars would become bigger stars, or was he just, you know what I mean?
I know. Craziness. me see if I can
join and share some more of these stories. We want to thank everybody for joining us this evening on YouTube Live. There we go.
There he is.
Oh, my phone got hot for some reason. It shut off.
All good.
That's crazy. Okay, there you go.
Cool. So,
Kid,
no, you're good.
Okay. You, a lot of people probably don't know. You gave Jay-Z the infamous Annie beat for Hard Knock Life. Talk about how that came about.
45 King had gave me this plate with it. He had produced the record. I went on the tour and I was playing this record. I would come out twice. I come out, did my show at first, had the crowd, a couple of artists would come out, whatever. I think it was Usher, Drew, a few other people, whoever came out at the time, Foxy Brown, whoever it was at the time. And then when the intermission came, I would come back out and start up again. And when I started up again, I would start up with this Hard Knock Life beat that 45 King gave me. And all these people would run up on me because they would hear the Annie with the beat. So I had a lot of white people running up on me saying, yo, kid, well, how did you do that? How did you get the rhyme, the singing behind the drum? Like, they ain't understand it. And the third, fourth show, Jay-Z must have came out and was listening, watching my show, heard me play this. And he ran in the arena because I was set up in the middle of the arena. I wasn't on stage at the time. He ran all the way to the middle of the arena through the crowd and everything. He didn't care about the crowd, none of that shit. And he ran through and he was like, yo, kid, what's that? I was like, you like that? He was like, yeah. I was like, you want it? He was like, yeah. So I called 45 King on the phone right there in the arena. And got him on the phone.
He too hot. He keep freezing up.
Kid Capri is on fire.
He is on fire. These are cliffhangers. And just when you think that was supposed to be.
Hip Hop 50 going on the whole year. We will be having selective guests. Be sure to be on the lookout each week, something new, something different. Be sure to join us each and every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We've got a lot coming up this year. I want you guys to be on the lookout. Be sure to join us. Be sure to like, share, subscribe.
Got something a little special for 420 as well.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to that episode. Going to be taking it to all the regions.
For sure.
Just waiting on Kid Capri to rejoin us.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dredd, he is the king of DJs. He's your favorite DJ's favorite DJ.
Yeah, I didn't know, at one point he didn't want to rap. End up putting out a whole album. Must be nice, right? Being presented a whole album and not wanting to rap or wanting to put out a album. Most people kill for a record deal. He just got handed his, and by who better than the great Biz Markie? So
it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well, looks like we might have to continue this one another time. We appreciate all of you guys for tapping in with us. Looks like Kid Capri is having some difficulties with his phone connection, but nonetheless, we did get some interesting information out of him. And I guess we're going to keep it moving.
Absolutely. We want to thank Kid Capri for the opportunity, and we want to thank you viewers for joining us. Now he's back.
Is he back? Kid,
yeah, I'm back. I'm back. My shit is getting hot up in here. Let me move this over here. Yep. Here you go.
I'm going to take y'all with me here.
Y'all can,
All right, we good.
y'all can edit or it's live.
It's live, but we can edit.
Yeah, we good, kid.
All right.
All right, so yeah, you was talking about that Annie beat.
Yeah. So So when he asked for it, we asked him if he liked it. He said yes. I put him on the phone with Mark. They ended up talking. 2 weeks later, I think he left the tour. Something happened where he left the tour. He went home, and that's when he did the album. And when he did the album, Hard Knock Life was on there. And it really did good for him. You know, he made so many dope big records, man. He did so great in his career. But that was one that really jump started, you know, a lot of things that happened for him. And it wasn't because of me, you know, yeah, I gave him the record, but it was just the record itself. And maybe because he did it, it would have been better. It would have been a bigger record than if I did it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, God made that happen. You know, and now today,
Man, you can't make this up. It's a perfect intro to the Black Album.
Visionary Awards and drum machines.
Look at the crates.
That's just the production crates. This ain't the crates in the storage. These just the ones I do beats with. Like, look at these awards.
Wow.
Okay.
Look at these awards.
Crazy.
All over here. Zulu Nation. Greatest party rocker. Greatest party DJ.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's work,
Beautiful.
man. Did a lot of work. See this trumpet right here? This trumpet was bought by my grandfather in 1940. This is the trumpet he played with Count Basie and Miles Davis and Dizzy Gillespie.
Wow.
That with all those dudes, man. Yeah. They go my drink champ joint.
Kid,
Very
looking at
nice.
all these awards and accolades, what still drives you? Like, honestly, what still drives you?
Number one, you gotta love what you do. That's the first thing. And what drives me even more is remember when people told me I couldn't do something. You can't do this. You can't do that. You ain't making that happen. You ain't gonna make this happen. You bugging, kid. Yo, you looking crazy sitting out there in the corner, kid. I heard all that. And one thing I don't do is take no for an answer. Nobody's gonna tell me when to come and go, how to get there, when to get back, how old you are. Nobody's gonna tell me none of that. I play young music better than the young people. Facts. Nobody's gonna rip down a party the way I am. I don't care who you get. You get anybody you need to. That's the truth. Because I'm a fan of it. I really love it. I really love it. And I seen something with a vision way before it got popular. I made it popular. You know what I'm saying? I knew the way it's supposed to be to people. I know how people's supposed to feel. I know what it is. And with me knowing that, I was able to create something and do something. I took something from other people and made my own and was able to do something that was able to help the world. And what I mean by help the world was when I had somebody, when I had one dude, I had a lot of moments like this, but one dude walked up to me in the mall, was like, "Yo, kid, you the reason why I'm not robbing nobody right now, going up in nobody's house. I follow what you did and I'm able to take care of my family now." That's more than money. You know, you saving lives around the world. You're not even thinking about it. People that you don't even know. And they're walking up and telling you that you saved my life, bro. I don't even know you, but you saved my life. And that's an honor. That's, you know what I'm saying? You know, I had another dude walk up to me, "Yo, kid, man, look, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. But if I do what you do, I'll be able to take care of myself." So what I did was I bought him a mixer. I made him buy his turntables. I bought him a mixer and told him to go ahead and play some music. I sent him some MP3s. He started playing music. Another guy bought a computer. He wanted to play. I got him a computer. You know what I'm saying? So there's times where every day's not gonna be talked about. Do or a random day, but that's what makes me. That's what keeps me going. That's what when I know that I'm changing somebody's life. I'm creating an opportunity for somebody. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm on the stage and I see all these people smiling and happy, and you know that you can't pay for that. You know what I'm saying? And you're not a legend because you've been here a long time. That's not what makes you a legend. What makes you a legend is what you did when you're there, what you created, what you contribute to culture, what you did in your time that you were there. You know what I'm saying? How many people's lives you changed and different things you did to open doors and stuff like that. That's what makes a person a legend. So sometimes the legend and the icon word get thrown around a little bit too much. You know, what did you do in the time that you was there? Funkmaster Flex is a legend. Why is Flex a legend? He took a radio station that was a Spanish freestyle station and made it the #1 station in the world. Legendary. He could stop the day. He's a legend. Done. You see what I'm saying? Like, what did you do when you were here?
Word.
You know, so.
Speaking of legend, you were inducted into the Bronx Walk of Fame in 2021. Can you talk about that experience?
Yeah, man. Again, you know, every time I get an award, it's like I'm getting it the first time, like my first one, because it makes you say, people care about what you do. You know, sometimes people take things for granted. Like a lot of artists, sometimes they'll beg to get on, ask for help. Once they get there, they forgot that they begged and asked for help. You know what I'm saying? And they act like the fans are doing them a favor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When it's really the other way around. They cut them damn lights off, you done. I hate a little rapper that walks around like a little rapper all day. Forgets where he come from, forgets who he is. You know, when I wake up, I'm David Love. When I do my business, I'm Kid Capri. Then I snap back to David Love. I don't walk around like Kid Capri all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's all how you ground yourself. It's all what you trying to get out of it. If you embody this shit all day, then you ain't gonna see anything but that. You're not gonna see less than that. You're gonna just see this, and it's gonna be all about you and what you think, and you're gonna be talking to people a certain kind of way and yelling at people that don't do certain things a certain way. And I even myself had yelled and want things right, but that comes from me wanting things done right. I want to work for the one that wants it done right. And if I got to get yelled at because I'm doing it wrong, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm getting yelled at because you just got a big ass ego and your head is big, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? So it's all what you in it for, what you trying to get out of it. You know, I work with some people that really genuinely care about Kid Capri. They don't care about the cameras being in the cameras or the fanfare, all that shit. They want the fanfare for me. You know, and that's who you circle yourself with. You know, everybody got a spot. Everybody got a position to play. When you have somebody that feel like they entitled or feel like they're supposed to be where you at, you can't be friends with them. You know what I'm saying? You can't be friends with them. You only can be with friends with people that have a certain amount of interest in what you're trying to do and want to move full speed ahead. And in return, you create opportunities for them to do their thing. And that's what I've always done. You know, Technician, the DJ, that DJs for the locks. Technician's been with me for 20-something years opening my shows for me. You know what I'm saying? Kid New, like Rico Anderson, all these dudes are dudes I took on the road with me and brought around the country with me. You know what I'm saying? So they and a lot of different other people we don't even have to speak about, but that's what it's about. If you want to work, show me what it is, and we can work and we can figure it out to where you can move on and do your own thing. And I ain't gotta have nothing involved with it, but I can help you, show you the way to get there. You know, and that's what. And if we all thought like that, the industry would be a lot better. I don't like the industry myself personally, and I don't make music for the industry. I make music for the fans that love it. Now, if you're in the industry and you're a fan, then that's what it is. But I don't make it to impress the industry. The industry is trying to do what I'm doing. So why would they want to see me go any further? Except for the people that are friends with me and people that's cool with me in it. But most on the big scale, they're trying to get where you're at. So, you know, I had that problem with DJs forever. You know, DJs not playing my music because Kid Capri been Kid Capri. We don't want him to go no further. So we gonna hold that shit down. You know what I'm saying? You know, I've been through that. But later on, I realized nobody cares, man. You gotta get yourself hot and do your thing. And if people fall in line, they fall in line. But you're doing it for the fans, and that's what it's really all about.
Interesting you say that. You're more than likely on most people's Mount Rushmore. Who's Kid Capri's top 5?
I don't have one. When people ask me about top 5s and top 10s and top 3s, I don't have none. Michael Jordan, when Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, there was another Michael Jordan somewhere in the world that you don't know nothing about. He just didn't have the recognition. Right? So many dope MCs. Now, if you saying who's the top 5 sellers, who's the top 5 businessmen that did business from rap, then I can say that. But if you say who's the top spitter, there's too many spitters, and if you ask me, the battle rappers are the best spitters. The most brilliant spitters are battle rappers. I did an album called Top 10 on them. I was trying to help the battle rappers 10 years ago before any mainstream artists got involved with them after they got hot. I was trying to get them hot. So I made an album called, well, first I shot something with Low Deluxe, a half-hour show. And we didn't put it out for reasons that happened. And then I stayed with the battle rappers the whole time, still supporting them. But then I decided to do this album called Top Tier. I did the whole album. I just didn't put it out. I put my album The Love out first. So now I'm working on, I'm updating Top Tier as we speak. Like, right, the album is incredible. When you hear it, everybody's on it. Chilla Jones, Lux is on it. Dot Mob's on it. Charlie Clips, DNA. Everybody's on it. The album is incredible, right? But I wanted to make sure I put The Love out first to bring the attention to Top Tier, because when I put Top Tier out, I want to make sure now battle rap is where it's at. When I was doing it, I was trying to help them get there. As a matter of fact, when they asked me to come and host Slaughter, I got upset because I knew what I told Lux I wanted to do with battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I seen all this shit. I was like, damn, like, this is what I was saying, Lux. But, you know, we ended up doing the album. So now the album is something to look forward to. But I've been helping them before they was even put on. They were still in the video stores and on the corners. I was there trying to get them moving. And that's why I was so respected by them. When I did the album, 80% of them I didn't even know. But they knew what I was trying to do for battle rap. So when I asked them to come do the album, there was no issues, no ego. They came and did everything I wanted to do, no questions. And they made me want to make albums again. My last album, Soundtrack to the Street, made me say I ain't making no more albums again. Because of scheduling, you know, clearances, all this different shit I had to go through. Motherfuckers coming to the studio drunk, all that. So I said, I ain't doing no more. I'll do records here and there, but I don't, you know, it never was my bread and butter anyway. You know what I'm saying? So when I did the Top Tier album, it put me back in record mode. It put me back like, yeah, because these dudes came with no ego. They did everything I asked them to do. And it was dope. So not saying that everybody on my last album had ego, but there were certain things I went through. I was like, I don't want to do this no more. So now with the Top Tier, that made when the pandemic happened, you know, keep in mind, I've been on the road from 88 to the pandemic. Been on the road. Pandemic was the first time I had a chance to sit down and relax and focus on other shit. So I did the album. I did 5 albums. Right? That was one of the albums I did. I started my clothing line, Sucker Free Clothing Line, which we revamped it right now. We're about to put out the new merchandise now too. It's incredible. They did real good in the pandemic when we put out the first shirts and hats. We started a real estate company. Jazz, she makes incredible. She sells houses all over the place. Incredible. So we were doing things because I had a chance to sit down and focus on other stuff instead of just being on the road all the time. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I have the Top Tier album. I had the Love album. I got the Top Tier album coming. I got the Hoodies album coming. I don't know if y'all know the Hoodies. They're all over the net. People love them. Two brothers. The Hoodies album's coming. I got another artist named Fuchs. This kid is gonna be big, and I have another album I'm doing. So I've been working, man. I've been working besides doing what I usually do. I stay working. When everybody's sleeping, I'm working.
No doubt. I know you got to run, Kid. But can you tell the people where they can catch you at on Sirius XM?
We got a little bit more time. They told me I'm gonna be a little bit late, 7:30, so we good. Sirius XM flies Saturday and Sunday, 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I've been doing this show almost 7 years, going on October. And the reason why I'm doing this show was because I was doing stuff on the net on Periscope. The Periscope. I was doing sitting right here in the spot playing music, and I started a show called the Block Party Live Mixtape. And then later on, I started a show called No Panty Sundays for the women. It was a slow music show. This is before anybody was on the net playing music on the IGs and all that. I was doing it, sitting there, but I wasn't DJing. I was just playing music. And then I got hot doing that. And Sirius, that year, the Damn album came, the Tupac movie came, Def Comedy Jam 25 came. Like all these different things came that year. And Sirius came and said, yo, we see what you're doing on the net. Yo, whatever you want to do it over here. I was like, what? I said, that's the only way I'm coming to radio is if I do radio the way I see it need to be done. Kid, whatever you want to do, come do it. Just give us our 4 hours of the first hosting, and you do what you want with the mix show and all that shit. Cool. So when they did that, and they said I was able to do it home, I was like, yeah. So now I've been doing it almost 7 years, and it's been one of the most important shows on Sirius, along with Rock the Bells and a few other things that's going on. But it's really been really killing every weekend, and that's what makes it good. It's the weekend. You don't hear me all week. You don't get a chance to get, you get a chance to miss me a little bit, and then hear me. You know what I'm saying, on the weekend. So it's from 4 to 10. I host from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Then from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock is the mix show, and you never know what you're going to hear from old to new. It's crazy.
Very dope.
Kid, do you got any advice to the new DJs coming in the game? I know the landscape has changed a lot, right? Like the club scene now, if you go out to the club, everybody and their mama got their cell phones out. Ain't nobody paying attention to the DJs. What advice would you have for this generation?
Well, the reason why that happened, in my shows, crowds stand in front like it's a show. They dance in place, but they stand in front to watch me. But the reason why, a big reason why, is I stayed on turntables. I didn't go to the controllers. See, the controllers is good for convenience. The controllers is good because of the technology. It's good for that. It's not good for me. For me, my show is about doing a show. I don't look at my parties I don't call my parties parties. I call my parties shows. You'll never hear me say I'm doing a party. I'm doing a show. Because that's what I'm doing. If you look at me on stage, you come to my joint, you get goosebumps. That's what a show is. And that's not knocking what anybody else do, but I'd rather pick up a needle than push a button. I'm already pushing a button on the computer. And that's not knocking what anybody else is doing. But if I'm watching you, I want to see you work. It's the same thing. No, I'm not going to say it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. But with my point that I was trying to make, if I come from an era where I seen MCs on the mic and they rhyme on their record, not rhyme on a beat, not rhyme over their words on a record. You running up and down the stage rhyming over your words. I don't come from that. Myself, I can hear your record on the radio. I'm gonna come to your concert to hear you ad-lib over your record. 9 times out of 10, you have the mic down here and you running up and down the stage and the record is going and you're not even saying, you just turning up. I don't want to see that. I want to see you get hoarse. I want to see you lose your breath. I want to see you mess up. I want to see you do all that. I'm going to respect that. I don't want to see you, everybody got the same music, everybody same John, saying it's what's entertaining in that for me. That's just me, my personal opinion. I'm not saying I'm not going to for anybody else. For me, I come from a different type of entertainment. I come from where you come in and you stomp shit out. Period. Ain't no cute boy shit. It's all stomping shit out. You can have the biggest record in the world. You come up next to a Kid Capri on that stage, you better have your shit together because I'm going to make sure you look crazy. Period. Right. That's it. And that's not bragging. I deserve, I can say that. I earned the right to say that because I proved it too many times. You know what I'm saying? You don't come up there playing like this shit is a joke. It's not a joke because there's many of us that flew on planes to go to places to satisfy people we don't even know. We got to stand on stage and satisfy a whole room full of people we don't even know. We got to satisfy them all at the same time. Around the world. You coming here playing? Like, we ain't taking this shit out. I don't take it as a joke. That's why I'm so diligent and so passionate about it. And I bust your ass on that stage. Give fuck who you are. Don't matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth of it. And you know, that's that when you take that attitude and you take it like that, you're gonna take your career more serious and do what you got to do instead of worrying about the chicks, worrying about looking cute. Who got the most? The jewels is a part of the outfit. I get it. I wear jewels too. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with showing off. It's a part of it's a part of the feeling. It's a part of the outfit. It's like it's just a part of the outfit. It has nothing to do with look at me. No. That's not how you're supposed to treat it. It's supposed to be a part of the vibe. Like, you know, Run DMC had a big rope chain on it. It was a part of their vibe. They had an Adidas suit on it. You could buy a fucking Adidas suit anywhere. But that chain was significant. We the shit. That's it. It come from that. It don't come from anything else. So when people celebrate the wrong things in the wrong way, it comes out wrong. To somebody like me that can see right through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, understand what we're here for. This shit is not a game. Go really take your career serious and really put it on for these people, man. These people paying money to see you, and it's about them. You know what I'm saying? It's about them. They got to pay to get there. They got to buy clothes. They got to all that shit just because you there. How do you not give them the best you can give them? How do you not give them the best you can give them? Then you want to know why you fall off next year. Because your record was hot, and that's what you depended on. You ain't depend on if your show was hot to where your record could last forever if your show was hot. Facts?
Facts.
Word.
Yeah.
No
Kid, you've been in the game well over 30 years. Hip-hop's turning 50. What are your thoughts on our genre turning 50 this year?
It's dope. Still young, though. Just 50 years. How long rock been here?
Beginning of time.
How long music been here?
doubt.
Right? So we still young. But to reach 50 years after being told it ain't gonna last, it ain't gonna be around, it's a monumental time. It's a monumental time. It mushed in the face of people that didn't believe. Those same people that didn't believe were in the club turning up with the young guys to trap music. Right?
Right.
I did a party the other day. Older people. It was younger people. It was my party is young and older together. But the older people that were there, you could tell there was some that was there 60, 70 years old. And they're in there partying like the young kids. You know, it's a feeling you get. I want you to feel me more than hear me. So that's the feeling I give to the young, to the old, to anybody. It's more of a feeling than hearing me. That's why there's no phones up in my parties. It's more, you know, it's no phones, it's no standing around, it's no look, it's none of that. It's stomping. Everything is sweating, everything is going, everything is moving. If you look at videos on YouTube of mine, you see the crowd. It's no phones, it's none of that. They'll have a phone for a minute to get a picture of a kid or whatever they're getting, but then after that, it's in their pocket and they move it. And when they put the phone out, it's when I tell them to put it out to light up the club. That's the next time they pull the phone out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more of keeping them occupied. When people are standing around, this is a chance for people to get into fights. Everybody looking at each other, grilling each other. They standing around looking at each other. Now something happens. But when people are occupied, you can step on somebody's foot. Oh, don't worry about it. And they party, they going. Keep them occupied. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference between being a real DJ or somebody that really cares about what they're doing, opposed to somebody just grabbing the computer with a bunch of MP3s and want to be out because they want to be out, throw a flyer up there, and now they out. You know, what are you really to give You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to make sure everybody get paid and you don't? To make sure everything gets done? Again, to this day, I fly opening DJs around the country with me and pay them, put them in hotels, whatever, just so that the crowd get the full show I want them to get. They're never going to hear the same record twice in my party. Never, ever. Whenever you come to my shit, you're going to get a feeling. So I'll spend my money to make sure that happens for the crowd. Money that I can keep in my pocket, but I'll make sure that happens because it's about them. Another DJ would say, "You don't want me to play this." No, I don't want you to play that 10:30. That's not, nobody wants to hear it at 10:30. They want to hear it at 1:30, which you try to play at 10:30 because you want to be hot. You want to show them how good you are, what you do. No, it's not about you. It's about the event. It's the event, not you. It's not about me. It's about the event. Let's reverse it. I'm a headliner, but let's say I'm opening for somebody. I know what to do in opening position. It ain't about me burning this or trying to outdo him because nothing you're going to do going to outdo me anyway. It doesn't matter what you do, but it's not about me. It's about the situation. And then I told you to do a certain thing. You went against that. Now you fuck up any other time that I can have you come open for me anywhere else around the country. Where at the next dude that did exactly what I asked him to do, he's opening wherever I need him to open at. And he's getting his bread. You gotta listen. You gotta listen. You gotta take authority and listen, and don't feel like somebody's trying to down you because they tell you how to get to the bag. Listen. You would listen to that white boss that you work for, or black boss, or Spanish boss that you work for every day. He tell you to do something, you don't do it, he yell at you, you get on your ass and you do it the right way, right? What makes it any different if your man or somebody like me tell you, yo, do it this way, do it that way? Not supposed to take that in a way where it's negative. You're supposed to take it as though he's trying to give me a jewel. Let me listen. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So these steps and this taking those stands is what made the DJ become where they at right now. Now you see Khaled, you see Clue, you see this one, you see that one, you see this one. Because Kid Capri took the stand on, you're not going to treat me like some nigga that just playing records. I'm an artist, and I'm going to show y'all. This is what it is. I'm going to be better than your better artist, than the artist with the bigger record. I'm going to be better than him on stage. Watch this. And that ended up happening. So now the DJ had to be looked at differently. You know what I'm saying? And we still climbing, we still trying to get certain things done, and we doing it, we doing it. But everything's a process, but pretty much it's there. You know what I'm saying? I think I put my work in enough to be respected, to not, my word not questioned. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always going to tell the truth. Never caught me in no bullshit, no bad business, did people foul, none of that shit is on the net. If there's anything that's there, it's all made up. I can't help that, whatever. But it's pertinent facts and reality. There's nothing that says Kid Capri did any of that. I always flew straight to people. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we got to carry ourselves as an industry. Not me, as an industry. Everybody got to be on the same thing. Nobody's doing you a favor. You will be here today and going tomorrow. I seen that shit over and over and over. Motherfuckers be high up here. And today, they can't get a show. Because how they treated people on the way up and forgot they want to see those same people on the way down. It's all a process, and that's why you got to respect your elders, respect people that's doing it. Don't down people. That's why I never did podcasts. I always looked at podcasts as you got to talk down on people to keep it interesting. And if that's what I got to do to make you say, look at me, it's not my game, it's not what I want to do. My show on Sirius XM, I did a number of interviews, The Locks, In Vogue, Bill Bellamy, so many people I did, Keys, so many people I did. Anything I spoke to them about was all positive. If they could have did something negative yesterday, I wouldn't have spoke on it because everything I speak on is positive. I don't have to thrive off your wrong. I don't have to put you in a position to possibly fuck up your career. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might not. People thrive on bad news. It's sex, violence, all that sells. So people thrive on that. But you're not going to get that from me. Because there's so many people that did you can get it from. You don't need to get it from me. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just not what I do. So Now, if I was to do a podcast, it would be something that nobody ever did. That's the only way I would do it. You see what I'm saying? If it was something that nobody did, like I always try to do shit that nobody did, be innovative. But I did a lot of stuff that blew up later on with somebody else, and I did it way then. They see me do it, and they blew up with it later. That's over though. That's old news. But if it's something that is going to be different than what a Drink Champs is, what $1 million worth of game is, you know, my expert opinion, and these different things are, then maybe, you know, and it wouldn't be a constant thing. It wouldn't be it would be a thing where it would be, you know, it would be handled different than the regular way if I was to do it. You know, and who knows? I might. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm real busy doing a lot of shit, so I don't know.
You stay busy, kid.
Yeah.
Word. You think we're headed in the right direction?
With what?
Hip hop, DJs, following the blueprint.
What do you mean, heading in the right direction?
Just listening to you speak, right? Like there's an ebb and a flow. There's a way to conduct yourself and do things right. Do you think
when I speak, I'm speaking about me. Now, if you listen to my interview, you hear me speak, and you apply it to yourself, the answer's all there for you. I'll give you the information. It's up to you to take it or not. You can take it one or two ways. You can say, "Oh, this nigga think he all that. He wants us to know what he does." Or you can take it as, "Yo, this is how I should be doing it, so I can get there. And this is the attitude I got to take in order to get there, because they got to take me serious." If I didn't do it the way I did, would anybody that took me serious? No. It wouldn't have. I had to be ferocious and fiery and furious. And I'm the greatest ever. I had to be that, because you wouldn't have believed anything else. I have to have the talent to prove it. But there's plenty of people with talent, and you don't even know because they don't apply themselves. They don't apply themselves, like the Michael Jordan that you didn't know. He didn't apply himself. And nobody's going to promote you better than you. On IG or Facebook or Twitter, any of that, you'll never see me put up there dumb shit. I use it as a promoter. I'm promoting what I'm doing. I don't use it for the sake of, yo, I'm over here, look at me, opportunity. I got one of these in my hand. I got nobody to stop me from being on here. No. You see me doing things that say, you know what, I want to do that. Or, yo, that's dope. You know, like, maybe I could. That's how you see me. I use it like that. I don't use it for the things that a lot of people use it for. I look on there, I just shake my head like, you don't know you're playing yourself? You don't know you don't have to do this? Who am I to judge? I know what works for me. So if I do an interview and I say something, it's up to you to pick up on it in a positive way. If you take it any other kind of way, that's on you. And if you take it in a positive way, then maybe you'll be able to do something in a different way than you was doing it, and it might work out for you. Or maybe not. It worked out for me that way. It's my life. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be proud of yourself, man. You gotta be proud of yourself. My album, The Love, I'm very proud of that album. I'm very proud of it. Whenever somebody hit me, I've never got a complaint one time since it came out. I see everything. I haven't got a complaint once. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of it because I did it all. I ain't asked nobody to help me do nothing. I ain't run to people that's hot and say, yo, be on my album so it could sell, or I ain't do none of that. As a matter of fact, on my album, I say in the business record, I say I made it for myself and I don't care about who cops it. I made it for myself. If you like it, go ahead and get it. But I made it for myself. It really was for myself. It's called The Love. My mother's on the front cover. My daughter's on the record, on the Uptown record. I produced everything, wrote everything. Didn't ask nobody for no help. I put it out myself. Companies reached out to me to try to get the album. No, if I can't own the masters, nah, I can't do no deal with you. And, you know, so my purpose of making this album was different than a person that have fanfare purpose. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for the fanfare, that's cool. I don't have plenty of fanfare. I still have fanfare without a record. I don't need to make a record to have that. I'm not looking for that. I've been had that. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking to put out music in the world, and I look to put a project out in the world that people could say, yo, that shit there is a body of work from beginning to the end. And he sounds better than a lot of these rappers that you hear, and he don't even do this shit. That album was 24 years ago. He didn't even have to do this. Crazy industry, DJs against me, independent, not known for rhyming. All that was against me before I made this album, and knew that before I wrote the first record, Slap Key, and put the first video out. I knew all that before that. I said, you know what? I'm gonna make my shit so dope it doesn't even matter. And that's what I ended up doing. I haven't got one complaint yet. I got people like Snoop, KRS, different people that made platinum records and big and whoosh. KRS, punch you in your face, suck MC, battle. That's it. That's him. Period. He sat there, listened to my album, and said, yo, it's one of the greatest albums I ever heard in my life.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? To hear that from KRS, like, come on, be like, that's a war. That's a reward. You know what I'm saying? To hear Snoop, yo, kid, rock him. Yo, and then hear the young dudes, like, you know what I'm saying? The younger dudes, yo, kid, this shit crazy. Yo, I'm learning something. Like, that's what it's about. That's what the Love album is about, for you to learn. You can hear it with your grandfather, like you hear it with your thug-ass little son. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the Love album is. So the only frustration part for me is I'm independent, and I know everybody hasn't heard it. There's interviews I do. There's things I see. Yo, I remember when Kid did his last album, whatever. Yo, he need to do another album. They don't even know my album's out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm independent. So that's why platforms like this I like doing, because it tells people, yo, this is what's going on out here. Don't look at it just because their attention spans are short, and they see you in one way. You can have a million other things going on, but if they know you for this, they focusing on that until this gets their focus. So I got to get their focus. You know what I'm saying? So the ones that are focused in, been positive the whole way. You know what I'm saying? I just got to make sure the masses here. When I see award shows putting awards of albums that's not as good as mine, but my album's not even mentioned, it's like, yo, what are y'all doing? Y'all bugging. Y'all bugging. Y'all later. Matter of fact, y'all probably catch on when I drop this next shit, then you're going to go back to the Love and be like, yo, we bugging. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but that's what it's about. So I'm having fun. I put out 5 videos from the album so far, put out 2 records, and in the middle of that, I put out 2 videos that had nothing to do with the album. 2 records that had nothing to do with 2 videos, Sibio and Free the Style. But the 5 that's on the album, Slap Key, Uptown, The Truth Will Never Lie, The Business, and Wide Awake. Those are the 5 from the album so far, but it was all on YouTube. I started listen, I never had a YouTube channel. Anything that's up there on YouTube or on my show, people put up. I never had my own channel, so I started my YouTube channel when I put my album out. So there's not a lot of people up on my YouTube channel because I started when I put my album out. So you can go up there and subscribe to the channel, see all the stuff I got up there, the videos and everything. There's a lot of shit up there.
Very dope. You've got the album out now, Love. You've got clothing line. You've got the Sirius XM show. What's next for Kid Capri?
Other artists, soundtracks, scores, jingles, other business that have outside of music. You know, I just want to see with me. My problem is I be trying to have too many things going on at once. but when I focus on one thing, you know, I get that done thoroughly. But I be trying to focus on a lot of things, and sometimes I get it done. But you know, yeah, I was working on a cartoon. I posted that the other day. I was working on a cartoon and shit. So it's like little things like that outside of music that, you know, I'm moving on. Did a movie. I'm 95% done with the movie. Mr. Every Ever. Excuse me. And 95% done with that. That's gonna be something special that people gonna love, I think, once they see it. Because not just the movie, it's cinematically done. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be all right. So yeah, producing for different people. I'm more into wanting to do the movies in a and television shows and all that. And that's another thing right now too. I'm looking forward to not moving, but getting a spot in LA and being out in LA for a minute and doing business out there. Because every time I go to LA, I get a lot of business done, but I need to be there to get everything done. You know what I'm saying? It's like it be random stuff. But sometimes out of sight is out of mind. They got to see you there, and then things happen. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of connections and stuff to do stuff, but it be other things that be unexpected that pop up every time I'm there. So I need to be there, back and forth.
Respect.
Yeah.
But any thoughts of Kid Capri documentary?
That's what I'm talking about, the movie. Mr. Every Other.
Okay.
Yeah, 5% done with it. Yeah.
Very dope.
It's crazy. You're going to love it when you see it. It's dope. The way it looks, really good. We started it before the pandemic. And we had a lot of it done before the pandemic. And once the pandemic hit, we had rest for a while. And then when, it started picking back up, we started taping some more and doing more stuff and interviews and stuff like that. So it's good. It's going to be all right.
Very dope.
Word. Kid, so like you're in the Mecca, right? You easily could have stayed local, printed money, selling out shows. What inspired you to get out on the road, take the Kid Capri show on the road so early? Like when other DJs weren't doing that.
Hot 97 wanted me to be on Hot 97. Told him no, right? Because, and keep in mind, this is before the internet era. I wanted to touch people everywhere. I wanted to be able to go to Kentucky and tear a show down out there. This New York dude coming from New York to Kentucky and smashing Kentucky. I've been doing the Kentucky Derby since 1998, every year until 2 years ago. No, till the pandemic. Every year, Kentucky Derby from that first time I did it. Kentucky, I did all the states. Every state there is, I did. Only place I didn't do shows is North Dakota and South Dakota. Everywhere else I did shows at. All the islands, all out of the country, European tours, all that. To go and be able to touch those people everywhere. If you were in Chicago at that time, you didn't care about what was going on in New York. You in Chicago. You got your own kind of music. You got your own culture. So when you come from New York and you make it seem like you live there in Chicago and make them Chicago people feel crazier than the people that live in Chicago, you win. I was able to do that everywhere I went to this day. Sell out everywhere to this day, no matter where I go. You know what I'm saying? Had I stayed in New York, would I have been able to do that? The catapult was Def Comedy Jam, because Def Comedy Jam put me in your living room where you didn't care about a DJ. Them little 5-second spurts that you see me, you cared about. So when I came and did the concert in your city with Def Comedy Jam, now you get to see the 15, 20-minute show. Now you're on a different level. Now this shit is something else. And the first time I did that show, when Def Comedy Jam came out, we did San Diego. I still have that on tape. We did San Diego. I'm behind the curtain. People in the audience, they're going crazy. Curtain's closed. Curtain opened up. It was like I was Michael Jackson on stage. Them people were using so much. And I had a 15-minute set. So I had to play the records quick because it was a 15-minute short set.
Right.
But every record I will play will have these people just going crazier into a frenzy. So I say, yo, this is the new way to DJ. And I applied that to the regular parties. DJs see me doing that. And they started thinking. The only difference is you got to make records make sense. You piss people off cutting the records off earlier than they're supposed to if you don't make the next one, make them forget the last one. And a lot of dudes was doing that and pissing people off, trying to do what I did. So that's just one facet of it. But it was Def Comedy Jam that put me in your living room. Now that I'm in your living room, now you got to really see it. And when you really see it, that's when it's going to be everlasting. I was able to go back to these cities and go to these cities and these countries, 10, 20 times through my career, each place. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the first time I ever get there. Never get tired. Crowd's always there. It's never a thing where people say, I'm tired of seeing them. I remember one year, Charlotte. I was invited to Charlotte. I did Charlotte 16 times. I did Charlotte 16 times from January to June. Not even a whole year. It was just January to June. And in July, I had my own. I got a foundation for kids called Give a Kid Foundation, where I went around the country and I gave all these different. I had different companies send me from Procter & Gamble to Chick-fil-A to Nike. All these different companies send me all this stuff to give kids backpacks and toys. I had so much stuff. I had stuff over, like it was so much stuff for kids. So the last one I did was in Charlotte because they had me there for 16 times. I said, let me go do it in Charlotte. So at the 17th time I went, I did the thing for the kids, and it was dope. So yeah, Give a Kid Foundation. But all these different things, going to all these different places, man, and the people receive you like that, that's a blessing, man. Because they can get tired of you. They get tired of you. They be ready to see the next one, whatever. You be here today and going tomorrow. It's how you carry yourself and how you treat your career. You know what I'm saying? And really know it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about them. Period. And that's what shine through when they see me on stage. I make them a part of me. It's not about me, and then it's them. They're a part of what I'm doing. And I make them know that. That's the difference.
That's dope.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you ever come to the show, you'll see.
Seen you a few times throughout the years, and everything you say is true.
Oh, you was there when we just was there?
Oh, the South by. No, you shut down our South by.
Oh, the one. Oh, y'all, the World Star joint.
Yes.
Yeah, I just did it recently. But what happened when I got there? Our bags, we picked the wrong bag up in the airport. So when we got to the show, we had somebody's bag was closing, so I couldn't DJ the show. So I had to rhyme the album, and the shit blew up. I came on after 3 6 Mafia. And the shit blew up. I did 2 songs. People was with it. I was like, oh shit. I was out of there. Got my money. I was out. I told you, man, I be feeling funny rhyming on stage. It's, but technician, DJ, and Jim, my road manager, they say, yo, kid, you need to do that shit every time because it works every time. So I might have to. You might be seeing me rhyme a little bit more, but I don't really want to do it.
No, we with it. We with it.
Fit that shit,
kid.
Yep.
Oh. But before we get out of here, kid, can you shout out your social media and where we can keep up with you moving toward the future?
Absolutely. Kid Capri 101 on the Twitter and the Instagram and the TikTok. The Real Kid Capri on Facebook. Manager Christy Clifford, Christy at kidcapri.com, KRISTI at kidcapri.com. Come book her if you want your show to look crazy or whatever, hit her and I'll come and make you promoters look good out there. Holla at me. We'll get crazy with it.
Like I said, you've been in the game for about 3 or so decades. Any last words for your fans from day one and throughout the years?
I'm still pushing it, still going to keep doing what I'm doing. Anybody that's a Kid Capri fan, I'm a fan of you. Whether you believe it or not, I'm a fan of you because you don't have to be a fan of me. You don't have to pay attention to what I'm doing. You don't have to say my name. You don't have to do none of that. I appreciate all of that. This interview, I appreciate. Anybody call me and say they want to help me with moving my movement, I don't forget that. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever feel like I'm bigger than. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm less than, but I don't feel like I'm bigger than. And, all this I take as a blessing. Even anything that happens bad and negative, I take as
and just
keep
like
on
that.
moving. So that's it. I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Appreciate
I appreciate
you so
y'all
much, kid.
World Star will support my videos and put my videos up. I be getting 2 million views on my videos on World Star. That's a lot. That's a lot. I know others be getting 30 million to 50 million, but my 2 million, I'm humble with that.
No.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, Kid, on behalf of myself, Sincere, and the entire World Star community, we appreciate you sitting down with us today. It means a lot.
Means a lot that you have me, man. Means a lot. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. Keep doing what you do.
Bless.
Thank you so much, Kid.
No doubt.